I spent my first 25 years with Microsoft and I learned so much, which triggered the idea that maybe we should give back. So we're gonna have a podcast. My name is Mark Souza. I'm the Chief Technology Officer for Microsoft Asia region. Now I'm going to be joined by many guests from different companies, and together we're going to share what we learned. We're going to talk about technology, challenges, and solutions. So please join us. Hello, and welcome to the next episode of Let's Talk Tech. I'm very fortunate today to be joined by Mr. Sau Sheong. So welcome, and thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Mark.
So let's start off with a little introduction about your role in GovTech and a little bit about GovTech.
Sure. So I'm the Deputy Chief Executive, one of two Deputy Chief Executives in GovTech. And we, as the name suggests, we are the government technology agency for the Singapore government. So we do a lot of systems, digital systems for the government, for agencies. If you look at it from a certain perspective, we are like the ID department for the whole of government. Although I think if you look at it a little bit deeper, there are actually a lot more other things that we do within the government. Our spectrum spreads quite wide actually, because we support a lot of different types of agencies across the whole of government. From agencies that deal with finance, to do with taxation, all the way down to agencies that deal with early childhood care, for example. So the spectrum is really wide, and we do different kinds of systems for different agencies.
Excellent. Obviously, you've been looking at generative AI for a little while now, and you have a big spectrum to land generative AI. Tell us a little bit about what you've done so far and some of the use cases you're thinking about for Singapore for the future.
Gen AI is definitely something that's very, I would say, very much the hype at this point in time. A lot of people are very interested, and definitely the Singapore government is very interested in making better use of AI for the good of the country, for the good of our citizens, and also to make ourselves more effective and more efficient. At this point in time, there is a lot of AI that's been used today to drive efficiency, productivity for the government. I'll just give a couple examples that are already in production. For example, Pair, which is probably our most used AI application today. It's basically a ChatGPT clone, because within the government, within the organization, we can't really use ChatGPT because the data outflows. Then we built our own ChatGPT clone, and we use a lot of that internally. But there are also a lot of other things that we built. Another example I would use is something that it's called Career Kaki. It's used within the Ministry of Manpower. This is a little bit more citizen-facing. It basically helps to our citizens to look at the ways that they can do more with their career, understand what are the possibilities to basically recommend skills, courses that they can take up, such that it can improve on their careers, recommend jobs for them, and so on and so forth. So it's like a career coach kind of assistant, AI assistant. So that's another example. A lot of our other examples are very much RAG related, to deal with document processing, to do with efficiency in analyzing documents, being able to answer questions from the citizens, and so on and so forth. We have a product we call AI Compose, which basically helps us to very quickly process documents that come in, and be able to generate responses to those documents. I think something that Gen AI is very good at doing. Of course, at the end of the day, a lot of these things are not just human, not just AI alone. It's very much human-driven as well. There's always going to be some human being who's going to look at what's being generated, and trying to figure out whether there are issues with the generated text, or even there are issues with things that go a long way. Because after all, today, Gen AI is still very much a new technology.
Yes. Oh, this is fascinating. Other executives like yourself have talked about getting the employees bought in, and the Pair app is open to all of Singapore government. So I think, do you find that you're getting buy-in from all the other agencies and their willingness to work with you on AI projects?
Yeah, definitely. So Pair and a lot of the other applications are very much enthusiastically adopted because it is useful for them, and it does help them to drive their productivity. So Pair is a very generic app, but I think some of the other apps that we do are much more focused in specific areas. And that's where we come in from GovTech's angle, because we take a look at a lot of these applications and then we try to bring them in and we try to build a platform around it to make it a little bit more reusable for multiple agencies, such that we are not building the same things over and over again.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. A lot of great use cases for the government. Is any in particular that you may be excited about, or the government's excited about, or the people are excited about at this time?
Yeah, at this point in time, most of our use cases are for productivity, to drive efficiency, because that helps us to reduce our costs and generally saves money for the country. So that's really our most, at this point in time at least, that's our most immediate focus. Of course, all the safety stuff, AI safety, compliance, that's also very, very important for us. But because of the changing nature of AI and there's quite a bit of uncertainty, we don't really want to go out to the public and do too many things at this point in time. So I think in terms of safety and productivity, that's really where we are at.
Yeah, I'm seeing the same thing. Internal productivity and knowledge management is the best way to get started within oneself.
Yeah, and in addition, I think going out to the public is a lot harder than what people would think, because once it goes out, it becomes a lot less controlled. And AI can do, at this point in time, GenAI hallucinate a lot, and it would generate a lot of, I think, things that we are not able to predict, and that might spiral down to some area that is very difficult for us to come back on. So until things are a lot more safer, then we would want to do what is the most valuable for us today, which is to improve our efficiency.
Great. Well, any things you want to share as far as challenges you had or learnings that you had that others like you or other government agencies will find as they get into AI?
I think the whole Gen AI space, it's been developing so rapidly, and it's been so changing so quickly as well, that it's a bit of a challenge chasing after it, understanding the technology, and being able to make better use of it. So we try a lot of different things, like we do a lot of self-learning. We learn from our partners like Microsoft. We talk to different companies. We talk to the community, and we take every opportunity to try things on our own as well. We build stuff, and those that are successful, we take it on to the next level. Those that are not so successful, we try to pivot and do something else. Yeah. So generally, that's what we do in trying to catch up with this phase in AI.
Yeah, I think this rapid movement from vendors as well as the technology itself does require a constant learning. So I love the tips that you gave about self-learning, talking to other agencies, other customers, other governments, and sharing as well. So I think that's fantastic. So I love that. As a government agency, how concerned are you about the good AI as well as responsible AI or the bad AI happening, especially to the
Yeah. So obviously, there's a very important topic, especially for government, and I think there's not just Singapore government. Governments around the world are very concerned about the rise of AI and how we can make better use of the, not only just make better use of technology. How do we guard against like irresponsible use of AI? So responsible use of AI, ethical AI, that's something that's very important for us. Not just for GovTech. I think speak for the rest of the government agencies who are into this. We try different ways of doing this. In particular, we work very closely with one of our sister agencies, IMDA. And IMDA has this program called AI Verify that helps to, literally it helps to verify against the biasness in AI models, right? So AI Verify actually started before the age of Gen AI, but we find it very useful right now to use this framework to build additional things on top of it, such that it can catch the potential biasness within the AI models that come out, and we are able to then identify them and guard against them and modify the way that we deal with these AI models. So that's one of the efforts we have done. But at the same time, I think there's just so much change at this point in time that we always constantly need to monitor what's happening and to figure out whether things actually go off the track. So I think the most important thing for us is not really rest on our laurels, but to constantly be on guard and constantly be aware of things. I think compliance is not just about putting down the rules and then policing it. It's really to see how things move, especially in technology, and then adapt to it and follow through to how we can do the best for our citizens and make sure that things are safe for our citizens as well.
That's great. I'm sure the people of Singapore and other governments are happy to hear that ethical and responsible AI is a top priority for GovTech, as it is for Microsoft as well. So I'm looking forward to partnering with you to continue that journey on ethical responsibility AI moving forward. So you mentioned compliance real briefly. Does, government regulations and compliance, does that slow you down in a fast-moving world, or how's that affecting your deployment of AI?
Technology, like everything else, there needs to be guardrails to how we move. Just like there are traffic rules to help us to regulate traffic better, so there are not traffic accidents all over the place. There are speed limits, there are traffic lights, and so on and so forth. Similarly, there needs to be some kind of guardrails in order for us to collaborate better and work better together, such that we do not come into conflict or clash each other, or we do not stray into a path where it's detrimental for certain groups of people. Right? So I think generally compliance is really more about that. And having done that, then for sure there would be some limitations and therefore some reduction in how fast we can go. Just like my analogy is on the streets, for example, you could of course try to go as fast as you can, but you end up in an accident, right? And so you need to limit the speed, you need to put in traffic lights, you need to do something in order to make sure that everybody is safe. But that inevitably will slow the journey, and that's what it is. We need to make sure what is most important, safety first, and that safety for the government, safety for the citizens, that's really important.
That's wonderful. I mean, so many good learnings that you shared with us today, the fast-moving pace and the staying up with the technology, the responsibility and ethical being top priority, and getting all your agencies involved with applications like PAIR. So that was awesome. Anything else that you want to share with your peers across the world?
Yeah, I just wanted to share that actually doing technology in government, it's like, I find that it's not very different from doing technology in enterprises. I think the main difference I see is the mindset is less revenue driven, but more for public good. But at the end, at the foundation of it, at the base of it, we are doing technology.
Excellent. Well, I really appreciate you joining us today and sharing your knowledge and learnings. And I hope the people of Singapore see the value that you bring to them in caring for the people, as well as other governments and the things that they have to worry about. So thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Mark.
And thank you all for joining us today, and we'll see you next episode.